If you get there, and they're in the doldrums, right? Like they're in the basement when you get there, and you deliver a title to Los Angeles, I'm not saying they're ever going to argue you over Kobe, because they got that Kobe love. He was there his whole career, won 5. But LeBron wins 1, like Wilt did. Then they're gonna add on all the stuff he did before they got there, because he delivered 1 for them, and argue to the death for him. So I say yes. LeBron will win a chip in LA. He's got 3 years after this one to do it. Cap space, decent young ascending nucleus. And when he does, he will be a Lakers legend.
The answer is no. LeBron won't be a Laker legend because he won't win a championship in LA. That's my belief. Plain and simple.
Blazers, they might have a chance to beat the Lakers.
If the Portland Trail Blazers get in the playoffs, they will beat the Los Angeles Lakers in the first round.
I am picking Portland to beat the Lakers. The Lakers cannot defend the 3. Last night, Denver shot 57% on threes. Did not miss any in the 4th. Denver's backups did not miss any in the 4th. If you can't shoot the 3 and you can't defend the 3, you can't beat Portland.
If you can make shots and you have elite guard play, you can beat the Lakers. I am very, very worried about the Los Angeles Lakers in the first round if they play the Portland Trail Blazers. I'm not going to go as far as to say it's a foregone conclusion they'll lose, but they could. And here's the prediction I will make. That particular series would go 7 games.
Most of the executives and scouts I talked to did not see this as a championship roster yet. That even though Anthony Davis and LeBron are 2 of the league's best players, that they still think they're going to have some defensive issues, and they still think overall they don't have the firepower in a loaded Western Conference.
I think the Lakers have, obviously with LeBron and AD, that's, as good of a 1-2 punch as you can find in the league, but I think they do have a lot of flaws on their roster. And even with those guys at the top end, I think when they get in the playoff series against, say, the other team in LA or, some of the other top teams in the West, I think those flaws are going to be very difficult for them to overcome in the Western Conference playoffs.
Is it not more likely that the Lakers miss the playoffs than win a championship? I think that.
Wait,
I
this
feel
year?
that way right now. This year.
So the odds are better that they miss the playoffs than they win the championship.
I would say so, yes.
I don't buy the Lakers as hard as other people do right now. I don't think they have enough pieces around him and AD to make it work at the level we're used to seeing LeBron win at. I just don't think the Lakers are going to get to that point this year. Maybe for the rest of LeBron's career, going back to the finals year after year after year.
Which team in LA would you think, Draymond, based on your experience, is the better bunch?
I have a hard time picking against the Clippers.
Who do you think's going to win the West this year?
The Clippers?
Clippers over the Lakers.
Yeah.
Clippers or Lakers?
Clippers.
Why?
Clippers. I think their pieces fit together a little bit better.
Clippers, on the other hand, have a team that completely bought in last year with no superstars. You add 2 of the most selfless superstars in the game that go both ways. Obviously, Paul George's shoulder is going to be a big concern, but I think it's the Clippers' championship to lose this year.
The Clippers not only have the best defensive versatility in the league, yes, the Lakers have a height advantage, but the three-point shooting of the Clippers with Lou Will and Trez on the floor, the Clippers are the best team in basketball.
The Clippers, because of their depth, because of their versatility, especially between guys that are 6'2" to 6'9", they got the most of them in the NBA that can really play. So I'm going with the Clippers.
The Clippers are loaded, and this is going to be like an advanced, organized version of rec ball. They're disruptive defensively. They're the best team in the league at defending isolation plays. That's why the Clippers are my choice to make it to the NBA Finals out of the West.
I believe in my friend Doc Rivers. I believe he will figure out who that person is, even if they have to make a move. And so I'm gonna say the Clippers. That team defensively is gonna be great.
Great. I mean,
Very great.
All time.
historic,
Yeah.
right? So I'm going with the Clippers. And what you said about the Clippers, who's going to organize them on the road, I have reservations about LeBron being the closer in his 17th year at 35. That's why I can't go with the Lakers.
When you look at the Clippers, top to bottom, coaching, starter, perimeter, superstars, their depth, I mean, this is where the Lakers fall off. If you remember on Christmas, they had a lead of 12, 13 points, and we thought the Lakers would run away. But then here come the Clippers, the bench. They just wear you down over the course of 48 minutes. And I just see in no scenario the Lakers beating them in the series.